Hey, what's up? My name's Kathy. I am a artist. I'm going to be an art teacher, and I think that it is by far the most important subject that we could ever teach young people or people in general. I know you guys that are like all math and science and English and like the real teachers are thinking that I'm full of crap. But when you really stop and think about it, art is the most important communication device that we have. When we're learning about how to teach people, one of the biggest things that we're told is use visuals. Well, guess what visuals are? Visual imagery and language is essentially what art is all about. It is our language, if you will. It's what you need to be fluent in. We use basic elements of design and principles to be able to make people think things, to be able to elicit emotions, to have all kinds of interesting conversations with society, with individuals, with whoever wants to look at our stuff, which for most artists isn't really anybody other than like your other art teachers and art students. And I guess not, because like a lot of people are successful, but that's always the struggle. But teaching art is by far a really great way to engage students in other types of learning and engage their brains in different processes. It forces them to think creatively because the entire field is about creativity. It's about pushing the envelope. It's about design, and it's about coming up with your own ideas. A lot of what we do as art teachers and as artists is take abstract ideas and thoughts, like things that we read in books, because we read books, a lot of books. It's a lot of book reading. And then we create some sort of visual representation of what that is and what it means and how the world can view that item as well and really appreciate it. When we're engaging in a visual language and a visual dialogue with people, we're able to often speak at a more emotional level without people even consciously having to think about it. There's certain iconic imagery that's around everywhere and people understand it. There are posters and t-shirts and things like that designed with icons on it, so when you're traveling in a country that you do not speak the language, you can just point at this picture and everybody knows that means bathroom, or that means, medical care. And just by me saying bathroom or medical care, you probably have a certain image that just popped into your brain, and you know exactly what that logo is or what that icon is that I'm talking about. These are the things that art does, and this is how we do communicate without even realizing that we're communicating. For those of you that feel like it's still not a legitimate subject, I would like to ask you, what makes your subject so legitimate? And that's where the conversation really can turn interesting, because with art, we have to invoke so many other levels of thinking. You have to be able to build something, to make something, and then there's a whole technical aspect to it. You have to know about all the theory, and you have to know a bunch about art history. Because if you don't know anything about art history, then you're going to look at a Jackson Pollock painting and say, that's something that my 5-year-old can do. When the reality of it is that if your 5-year-old will never be Jackson Pollock, because that was such a moment in time, and it's not about the splatter, it's about the paint.